Record.
Okay.
Warten auf Christina.
Warten auf Christina. Yeah, no, let's start in English anyway because then they can transcribe it, otherwise I have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So I actually, yeah, that's because we have not that much time. Maybe we start right away with the Hong Kong piece, the one Alive that changed your week. How did we end up with that title and then more or less the story around the title?
Yeah, the title just came from exchanging ideas between you and me because somehow we needed the title to make the exhibition card, and you suggested the week that changed your life
right,
out of the reference to the one week of a show we had.
Yeah.
Because you had to somehow find this hole in between two exhibitions, already scheduled exhibitions. So that was clear that we had 1 week for Parasite to do the show, and then you came up with this title, and I thought the title was good, but I actually liked it better the other way around.
Yeah, but it made it much less pretentious,
right? Yeah. Because if you would say like the week that changed your life, it would be almost too much for an exhibition.
For a week exhibition.
For one exhibition, then you need at least two.
But I mean, this idea about dialogue, which was a dialogue between you and me, is quite typical in your work. I mean, it's always this.
Yeah, it's many times the reaction of something that's there, or somehow a situation, or expectations, or somehow something that's thrown at me. Somehow I threw it back again.
So that's I mean, it is a lot of times people talk about site specificity, but I think in your work it's more about space or situation specificity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that for me the site-specific thing is more the site-specificity of an atelier. That you can almost say that you do something on a certain location because you have the chance to do something there, but I hope to do something with my work that then lives beyond that site-specific place where it's shown, because it hopefully makes references to universal situations that you also find in a similar sense somewhere else. Coming back to this new piece, there are film productions all over the world, so all of them know the genre of Standfotografie, like still photography, and in this terms I would think that it's more situation referential as
so it's more about situations and people and connections.
And machineries and or processes that lead to a image. Like this kind of collaborative processes, like film teams or television programs or help me.
But then it's also this huge idea about chance and just whatever comes. This quite not cage idea, but this idea about chance and whatever comes and whatever happens is somehow right and it will work out.
Yeah, it's maybe in that terms it's a bit performance related. But on the other hand, I would also say when you work with professionals that have a certain strategy to come to an image, you can somehow expect some roles or filling up some roles on their behalf, on their part. So, of course, it sometimes slightly changes as soon as some element is a bit different than they normally behave, than they normally do their productions. So of course, if you think about a camera crew and the film team shooting without a film inside of the camera. You think maybe they behave a little bit different. Maybe the actors feel differently in front of the camera. Maybe it relieves some of the pressure. Maybe it does just the opposite. And so
how were your experiences here? I mean, here we had a more or less professional camera
super
crew.
Professional camera
crew. We even had a producer, which was actually a director, David, which is something in between, who does documentary films.
A filmmaker.
A filmmaker, so which is also, you normally wouldn't have a filmmaker at it, but somehow it was good to have him there. But how about the experience with that crew?
I think it was almost like jumping into something where nobody knew where it would somehow go. I was surprised a lot of the people, even though we found them in different ways, they somehow came to the set and they knew each other. Because like photographers and actors, some of them worked in commercials. They knew each other from other productions. Because I think maybe the Hong Kong film world is there are some limitations in the people. I would say maybe even in Hollywood the people will know filmmakers and cameramen and actors, they would know each other from other productions. So ending up in this kind of community, for me it was a great experience. First of all, to have them there at all, because it was so on the edge that somehow I'm still looking for actors one day before.
Actually starting to look for actors one day before.
We were starting to look earlier than that, but we were still, the main actress was missing, and then it seems almost like an impossible situation, and also not very respectful to actors. But we had no chance to do differently. Hey!
Hello, no worries.
How are you doing?
Morning, sit down.
I had a fatal accident.
Oh.
What?
You have to film that.
Yeah.
What happened?
And here.
Oh, who did you fight with?
I didn't fight with anyone. Jesse's boyfriend was stupid, and he tried to, why don't I carry Christine on a piggyback and start running the slope down?
Oh shit.
How is he looking?
He's a bit worse than me, but it really hurts.
Oh shit.
He's done
Did you turn it off for a moment or not?
Oh no, I didn't. We just go on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to go on because we just have like 20 minutes more.
Alright, I know, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry, it's fine. Just put the iPod on the table.
I am.
Jump in. We're talking about the
talk master for the Talk Athens. She knew that I would not speak a single word, so she already expected on one hand to do her show, but also to maybe have some surprises, something she would not really know before what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the holy artwork.
The holy artwork as well, yeah.
Where the guy, he knew you would fall down in front of him, right?
Yes.
And he knew the scenario. Most of them know the scenario, but how do you get people to play with that? How do you make them do it?
Just convince them that it could be a good experience also for them. I think the most important thing is to have them. The very first thing is that you have to believe in your own idea. And I think when you somehow believe that it's a good work to do, or like a good thing, then you can also get other people in. It's like starting a party. If you think, oh yeah, this is going to be a good party, tonight's the night, you're more likely to get some people to dance with you or to do something. So, and if you, I think a lot of this is that you have to convince them. And luckily, most of the times it works out that the people didn't, regret to do the project. Many times I stay in very good contact with participants or collaborators. There are some projects that also happen where you put a lot of energy into it and somehow it doesn't all come super good together. And it can be of different reasons, you know. Somehow there's always a risk involved in a piece like that somehow the energy changes and then you feel that it's all somehow forced. And that's not, I mean, at least for me, not so satisfying. Also for some people that were maybe part of that production. But sometimes I even realize that some people don't really feel that tension in the end when they see the work. Because of course in some pieces I really try to get the participants to go pretty far with me.
But isn't every piece you could have like all these phases in it? You have like time, all these. I mean, like here in Hong Kong. I mean, we had times that just went very smoothly, but then there were also hours when.
You know, I was also in the middle of the shoot where I started to get my camera out. I just made these interviews to also get me concentrated and give another direction again. I don't know, I mean, some crisis moments are always, they also have their point and are good to fill it up with some drama. But then you want to switch it around again, somehow to walk beyond that and not stick in this crisis. Huh? I think that belongs to it, that you somehow, you know, yourself also, you have to enter something that you're not totally aware of all components.
So how was, so what was special on the Hong Kong experience?
What special was extremely short time frame and extremely good support from various people, and that somehow there was a good luck moment that even though you could say, oh, this could be looking too rushed or too fast done, I think that we still like have a piece there and like some photography that wouldn't look very much different if I had even 4 weeks to prepare. So that's good, and that you can only do that with really professional people and also very, people that were supportive. And I think there were different reasons. There are some sides come from Parasite, that a lot of your friends or people that are involved with Parasite supported the project very good. But also a big help was that Cynthia's friends, actually the main reason I came first to Hong Kong for the wedding from Cynthia's friends, so that she also supported me with her friends, people I met in New York before because they were visiting us, like Anne, the photographer, Tim, who also organized the second photographer, and we met Tim. So he was also, like Francis came also into the play to Tim. So there were, I think it was almost like 50-50, Without Cynthia's connections, this wouldn't also be on that point where we were. And that's a lucky coincidence. So I think that was special about this project. For me it was also very special this year, after doing a lot of survey shows and a lot of working on survey catalogs, to somehow look ahead and just take a few days to really do a work. But I was really waiting for that again, to do a new piece. And then it was a great moment for the very first time coming to Hong Kong, to meet all of these people and to meet them in this kind of different environments, different situations where you meet them, where you celebrate with them, where you work with them. So I think it was a great introduction for me to Hong Kong, because through this, many of the people are not only Cynthia's friend, but I also developed my own relation to them, and I think that was great. And beside that, what else was special? That I'm very happy with the piece.
So are there any places where you thought it would be better if you had more time to work on, or things that...
I thought before, like a day or 2 days before, I thought, we need a little bit more time. There are too many edges, we are just swimming. And that was definitely a moment where I felt that.
So with, you said you might include your interviews of the people involved in this piece.
Yes.
So how are we going to put that all together?
I mean, by thinking about where the work got its idea from was one exhibition we saw at the Cattle Depot, where I just was reminded again on this genre of still photography, which I many times in my other pieces I'm not very good in documenting, and I think sometimes, I wish I had a good photographer just keep capturing some of the moments. And it was funny, this is almost now I turn it around. Instead of forgetting about the photography, I just took care about the photography, and I lost it. What was the question?
How are you going to put that interview section together with the still photography?
Exactly. And then looking at these photographs of a photographer who documented another movie, I thought, it's nice also with these descriptions of the photographs and of the situations, and then all the drama already involves in this kind of very minimalistic descriptions, because they have to get to some slogans or they have to convey like one or two ideas you can do as a description of a photograph. And then it's almost working as a collage, because you look different at the pictures when you know who is the main actor and a little bit about the scene or about the background of the production, what they were facing in that moment. And then I think they become more iconographic, this situation that people are waiting for an actor, or that they're waiting for a director to give give an order. And you're just reminded on so many other moments where you were sticking around together with some people on some impossible situations, waiting for the camera to start, right? Because always something is not right, either the light or so in the films, I think some of them are really iconographic shots for camera and film productions. But in the same moment, if you think about what accidents can happen on film, so the moment where those male actors were running down the hill, almost run into a car. So this is like real drama, threatening life scene. And they're just laughing later because they on one hand are very relieved and very nervous and very, that's an impossible situation. So, and if you put this in words under it, I also think it makes you somehow reflect about as well life, as well as film production, as well as how far are you ready to go for film? What do you win, what do you lose? You don't want to lose your life, but definitely
that was a good moment though.
You can lose a lot with it, not only money, right?
But I mean, what I like on that piece is about, in the end, it is about the artwork and what is also important about the artwork. Is it the production, or is it the story, or is it the end work? So it talks again about media and the construction of media, which is quite a theme you have in most of your work. This questioning of the position of media, and like most of your work, they are not really performances, and they're not really installations, and they're not really films, and they're very conceptual, more or less. And that work really, like some others of you, really ask that question again, right? What is it, right? It's not a production shot. It's not a film. It's not a scene shot. It's this in-between idea.
True. I mean, there are two genres in this photography. I mean, this one is the production still, and it's normally showing the context of people filming a scene, and then like a film still, like a still from
the film.
Yeah, from the film, that somehow where the photo camera mimics the two actors in the same camera position and how the camera would normally shoot it. And I think on one term where it's about the film stills, I really like the idea that there are different moments inside, like different iconic moments on the way through the movie, and you somehow, I think the audience should make, or what I would wish, try to connect some of the scenes. And even though with all the knowledge we have already of film, going on it, working with your cliches, working with your fantasy, with your own background to somehow create a story out of that. I think one part that also interests me, how you make stories up with just still images and you put them into your fantasy into a film. Because you know that there are missing points in between. You can only document by a still photography like some parts of the movie.
And how does then the text work with it?
The text works in the moment. What we have on text is only for the production stills, and there I always tried, also in the collaboration, with Christina and with you, King, to stick to the memories we had on that production moment and try to get across what was our unique situation in that moment when we were shooting it. And by mixing, somehow making the viewer believe that this is a film production, but in the same moment we're also on a photo production. So calling the whole thing a production is not a lie, right?
Well, it's not, definitely.
And coming now finally back to your question with
the video.
The video.
Yeah.
I thought it could be useful by inventing, because in the moment the story of the film, what is under the film stills, is not written down yet. But I think it could also be nice to have a little introduction text, a wall piece, that somehow brings across this element, let's say, something that invents a new Chinese hero by showing also the Hong Kong situation, that all the things are falling away. And you know, like how you have, these are all quotes of the actors and production team that was working with me on it. But somehow it already put the imagination of the viewer into that direction, because then you don't have to really put it under the scenes, but you have it in the beginning, and then you start looking at the production stills slightly different, because you somehow think, oh, who's the Chinese hero here, or where do you somehow show that Hong Kong is changing and some things will never be seen elsewhere or anyhow anymore, because building's gonna be crashed down and something new gonna be built there, and you still document it with this film when it gets an important film scene, that you have some of the old neighborhoods of Hong Kong in the background. Or what else was, I mean, the love scene, not too hard, but more with colors and nice, you know? Or also talking about failure, how do you managing going beyond failure? And then, I don't know, some people might connect the failure together, I don't know, with the temple scene, or maybe even the scene somebody coming out of prison, but it's all an open collage where everybody has associations and they all work to make a unique film in everybody's head, you know?
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting how you're gonna try putting that video together with images and then with words and all together create. Like,
I think, you know, it would be nice. Maybe you can, I leave this tape now here with you. Maybe you can, you can take, you can just transcribe it and send it to me.
No, we transcribed it already.
Oh, really? Great.
I was going to email it to you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
we transcribe the video.
Is it still running or not?
Yeah, we stop it now. Yep. Oh, the battery is low, but
it's running still.
I hope so. Yeah, it says rec, but I now stop it, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
How do I do that? I just press the red button?
Oh, is that? Yeah, I think I